Hello everyone, welcome back to the new video. In this video, I will be discussing about these data connectivity modes in Power BI. This is the three concepts are there like import mode, direct query mode, and live connection. Mostly the clients or that lot many people have worked on this import mode because it will be good idea to performance wise better or it will be simple like structures. So that is the reason we go for importing the data in the import mode only. So I will discuss some points based on the interview purpose. So same points you need to explain in front of the interviews as well. So I will go ahead in this Power BI tool and there are points. I have added some points here. So you know that there is a import mode. So firstly, I will discuss about this import mode and later further for the direct query mode as well as the live connections. The first point is that the Power BI import is equal to data plus metadata. So you know that data means our data set, right? And after that, there is a metadata, means there is a table name as well as column name and their relationships. You know that we fetch, we have the different types of options when we have the get data option here. So once we choose the Excel file or the CSV file or the SQL server as a data source, so that time what happen, there is an option to import mode for that flat files like Excel or CSV, but when we choose the data source as a SQL server, so that time there is an option will came for that import mode and direct query mode. So we have to based on our data set size, so that time we use this uh, import mode and direct query mode. So move to the next point. In the import mode we are able to see all three types. You know that there is a report view, table view, and data view. Where once we fetch the data in the Power BI desktop using the import mode option, so that time we have to show these three options like import mode, this report view, data view, and also model view. So three options are there. And once we fetch the data in the right side, there is a option will came like there is a table name, and in this table name we have to got these different types of columns and their relationship built in this data model model view option. Third option is that all functionality we can use here. Means we can use different type of functions like adding a columns, deleting the columns. In Power Query, we have to do all the types of transformations here. Moving to the fourth point, we are able to perform all the type functions with time intelligence functions because all the data in the Power BI model. You know that once we choose the input mode as a data source, so that time we have to able to use the different types of time intelligence functions or the simple level and advanced level of calculations we can do in this data set. And you know that when we use the import mode option, so that time the Power BI model will be on the based on this Power BI desktop only. Report performance very good because data is inside the Power BI and metadata is also inside the Power BI. You know that we fetch the data using the power import mode as an option, so that time it's very good for the report performance wise, and as well as the data is already present in the Power BI desktop and the internal memory of the Vertipack engine we can say, and the metadata is also present in this desktop only. So that's the reason performance wise it is good. And moving to the next point, but we have only one limitation: we can import only less than 1 GB data, 1024 MB. You know that when we use the import mode as a data import mode as a data option, so a connectivity option, so that time we can upload 1 GB of the data. There is a limitation of this data size, so that's the reason mostly we avoid this for that big number of data sets. Moving to the next, if your data set is small, then we use the import mode. So our data set size should be like 10 millions, 12, 15 millions. So that time we go ahead for the import mode, but our data should be greater than like one 1 crore record. So that time we go for this direct query mode. Entire data is loaded in the Power BI model in the memory. Everything will be present on the Vertipack engine. Moving to the next point, that is there is no restrictions for the usage of any data sources, Excel, CSV, or SQL server as a data source. We can able to use number of data sources there is no particular limitation for using this any data source. Moving to the next point, that is support complex transformation power query. We can create the measures as well as calculated columns. There is no restriction for adding the rows, filtering the records, merging the tables, appending the tables. uh, just choose the transform data option, and in that we can able to use whatever we want for till completion of this transformation process. Visual do not take much time to load the data because already data is stored in the Power BI desktop only. So that is the reason when we choose any visuals, or we can put their values accordingly. So that time there is no issue for loading this data. It is a good idea for using the import mode. Data refreshes based on the scheduled refreshes. Once we refresh, manual refresh as well as scheduled refresh in the Power BI service, so that time for the refreshing of our data, so we need a scheduled refresh. We need to install the Power BI gateway in the using the Power BI service, and based on this we have to do this we have the different types of licenses like a pro license as well as premium license. So for pro license we have to daily basis we have got 8 times refresh, and that for that a premium account, so we can able to use this 40 times per day to refresh based on this client timing. So you can modify your times. No need to internet connections when we work on that import mode option. So that time there is a no connectivity, internet connectivity is needed for this. We can without internet connections we can do this end-to-end process. There is a get data option. From that we have to choose the different number of sources, like at least 200 plus data sources are there. Based on that our data where is stored, so accordingly you can get this data in the Power BI time and do the process cleaning, data modeling, and creating end-to-end reports. Moving to the next, that is for the direct query mode. These points are very much important. Just mug up these points and you should present in front of the interview as it is. So direct query is the direct connection in the data source. Data will not stored in the Power BI. Once we choose the get data options and choose the directory mode option for that SQL server as a data source, this directory mode option is not connected for that flat files like Excel, CSV, text, JSON. So just it will become for the databases mostly. Uh, the data should be present on that source side only. It is not present in the internal of that memory, because the data is outside the Power BI and metadata is inside the Power BI when your data is large. When our data should be very much high level, so that time uh, just we have to option that is a directory mode, because this is the real time of data, and metadata is inside in the Power BI. Metadata means there is a tables as well as their columns and their relationship already present in this Power BI desktop only, but data should be present on that source side only. That is the meaning of second point. Here direct connection is equal to data SQL server outside plus metadata inside when large data is set is there. Move to the next point. Power BI stores only metadata like table name, column name, and their relationship, but not the data. In the direct query, we are able to see only two types, report view and model view, but table view not available. You know that there is a report view as well as there is a model view option. Two options will be visible in the Power BI desktop when we choose this direct query mode as an option. But this table view option is not available. Data should be hide. We can we cannot show the data in this Power BI desktop. Uh, Maximum time we use cleaning process on the source side only, and just fetching purpose or creating the reports we use this direct query mode option. Performance is not good, so we are not able to perform time intelligence functions. We cannot use different types of time intelligence functions or any different functions for the DAGs. There is an advantage if you have huge amount of data. We can go with direct query, no limitations in the data. There is a huge amount of data we can handle using the direct query mode option, using the SQL server as a data source, Oracle, Snowflake. This is the data sources. If in DQ performance is not so good, so it will be impact on a report. So then we can use aggregate tables, or we can use aggregate the data. Moving to the next point, that is the real-time data directly fetch from the source system. No need to use scheduled refresh. You know that when we choose the direct query mode as an option for fetching the data in the Power BI desktop, so that time there is a no a Power BI gateway for scheduling the refresh. It will be a real data. It will be fetch once we refresh manually as well. Automatically it refresh in the Power BI's desktop only. Visuals take time to load the data. You know that when we use any visual like cards or the tables or that any bar chart, donut chart, so when we added a card some aggregate values, so that time what happened, it's connected with the source side, and firstly it will connect with the source, and after that the data we have to show in these cards as well as in their different visuals. So that's the reason it will take a lot much time to showing this data. Need to internet connections as well. For this internet connection is needed for this. So moving to the next point, for the live connections, there is first point, data is outside the Power BI. Meta is also outside the Power BI. You know that in this option, metadata as well as the data should be on that outside of the Power BI, because we don't have relationships and model. We only able to see the report view. There is only one option we can able to visible in this Power BI desktop, that is a report view only. This is a report view. We can consider that this is a power view option, and it is mainly with SSAS or existing Power BI data sets where the data model is already created. You know that there is a two when we go for that get data option. So that time there is a two option will be came for that data source, SSAS or the Power BI data sets. No data modeling in the Power BI desktop, cannot modify relationships and add calculated columns. We can't do anything related to the data modeling, as well as we can't insert the additional records using the calculated column here, because already data should be present on that source side only. And most important is that in the organization there is a huge number of peoples, and they are working on that Power BI domain or Power BI project, and they don't want to change our data set, and data set should be same they want. So that is the reason the organization members use this option like a live connections. There we will use these live connection options. So that's it. I think you like this video, and mention this same similar points in front of the interviews as well, and you can very much good in this. Thank you.